Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and thank you for attending this introduction to iLearningGlobal. I want to tell you that the technology that you're seeing this on is not the true technology. The true technology is on the site, and it's for people who become members. So this is going to our advanced technology. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I started off humbly. I didn't graduate from high school. I sometimes joke and say I finished high school in the half of the class that makes the top half possible. And I worked at laboring jobs for several years, and then I got into sales and struggled. And then I began asking a question that changed my life. And the question was, why is it that some people are more successful than others? Why is it that if everybody starts off at the same, everybody starts off with the same opportunities and education, and yet over the course of time, some people move way ahead and they become 100,000-aires and millionaires and multimillionaires, but the great majority of people make very little progress at all? And I began to study the subject, and I read books and articles, and I went to courses and so on. And I met a very wise man some years ago. He was 89 years old. He'd spent more than 50 years studying success. He had come up with 1,000 success principles, which he'd written into 4 books. And I asked him, of all these success principles, because I'd read his stuff, what's the most important principle you ever learned? And what he said was, learn from the experts. He said, the key to success is to learn from the experts. And I remember him smiling and saying, Brian, you'll never live long enough to learn it all by yourself. And that's the key, is all successful people learn from the experts. Which brings us to what we call the law of continuous learning. The law of continuous learning says that to earn more, you must learn more. In other words, you have maxed out, you've reached the ceiling of what you can accomplish in your life today with your current level of knowledge and skill. If you could do more with your current level of knowledge and skill, you would, but you can't. You've got to take in new knowledge and skill. Now, you've heard of the Pareto principle, which says that 20% of the people make 80% of the money. This has been true for hundreds of years. In every society, if you took all the money and you divided it up by everybody equally within a year, 20% of the people would have 80% of the money. What this means is that the bottom 80% of the people have 20% of the money, and they have to struggle for the crumbs that fall off the tables of the top 20%. Now, your job is to be in the top 20%. Now, recent research on this subject, and it's starting to pour out of the universities and think tanks, says that the income increase of people in the bottom 80% is an average of about 1% per year over inflation. In other words, people have a job which stands for just over broke. In other words, they never get ahead. They work their whole lives and they worry about money their whole lives. But here's what they have found is the average income increase of people in the top 20%, those who are continually upgrading their skills, is approximately 11% per year. That means that their increase is phenomenal. Now, the biggest problem in our economy today is not an income gap, it's a skills gap. And your job is to fill the skills gap. People who continually upgrade their skills move to the top of their fields, and people who don't move at all. Now, here's the second reason you should be involved. First of all, continuous learning. Second of all, is iLG has the best technology in the world today. We call it high-definition television. Full screen, no loading. It's exactly what you have on a plasma screen. You have immediate access 24/7 to the best video-based learning programs in the world. Now, today, if you want a piece of information, you say, well, why don't you go to the computer and Google it? Tomorrow, they will say, if you need to learn a new subject, go to the computer and iLearn it. iLearning is the beginning of a billion-dollar learning industry, and you can be part of it. Why is it that video is so important? Because there's 22 times the number of nerves from the eye to the brain as from the ear to the brain. In other words, you see it and hear it, you learn at 22 times the speed than if you read it or just listen to an audio program. iLearningGlobal will soon be the preeminent learning portal on the internet in the world. Now, here's the third reason you want to get involved. It's called online community building. You've heard of Facebook and YouTube and the tens of millions of people who are on there. Here's my question. Do you know 5 people who want to learn how to become better in their careers? Learn how to make more money, move ahead faster, get promoted more often. Do you know 5 people? If you know 5 people, that's all you need to build a community on iLearningGlobal. We've adapted what we call the power of 5, which means that you enroll 5 people, who enroll 5 people, who enroll 5 people down to 7 levels. When you do this, you create almost like a Christmas tree that virals forever. And the entire process is taught online. So you don't have to sell or hold meetings or anything else. All you have to do is say, go to the website, go to my website, take a look, and if you like it, just sign up. Now, how much does it cost to get into this business? You could pay thousands to open an office or to start a business. Do you know what it costs? It costs $29.95. Puts you into your own online business with your own web portal. $29.95. It costs $79.95 per month for you to operate your business. Your total operating expenses are $79.95 a month. Do you know of a business in the world that has unlimited income potential, where you could get into it for $110? It's unbelievable. Now, our goal at iLG is to create 1 million millionaires within 10 years by giving people the skills they need to make more money in every part of their business, entrepreneurship, sales, management, leadership, and so on. Our mission is to help people achieve lasting financial and personal success. Now, there's another advantage to iLearningGlobal, and it's tax benefits. You know that the average person works 4 or 5 months a year just to pay their taxes? That your taxes are the greatest single expense in your life, greater than your home, greater than your car, greater than your food or anything else? But we have a gentleman named Sandy Botkin. Now, Sandy Botkin used to work for the IRS, teaching them how to audit businesses. He has now come away from the dark side, as we say. He is now a Fox News tax analyst for, and not only Fox, CNBC, and CNN, and so on. And what he does is he teaches us on iLearningGlobal exactly the provisions in the Tax Act that help you to reduce your taxes. With your own ILG business, for example, you can save as much as $7,000 to $8,000 per year on taxes just by taking the tax deductions that are written into the code to encourage people to start their own businesses. The cost of iLearningGlobal membership is tax deductible as well, which means it drops the amount from $80 a month to $55 a month. Can you imagine that? Having your own business with total operating costs worldwide for $55 a month. Now, here's an interesting point. In gasoline, the IRS allows you to write off 58.5 cents per mile if you're driving on business. If you are driving anywhere to talk to anybody about iLearningGlobal, you can deduct 58.5 cents per mile. What does this mean? The average person with a car drives between 12 and 25,000 miles per year on average. That means if you just write off your mileage, you'll save $5,000 to $10,000 a year by being a member of iLearningGlobal. Now, we have a complete program on every aspect of tax savings, online, video-based, taught on iLearningGlobal. And the most important part is lifestyle. When you build your own iLearningGlobal business, you create passive income that grows and grows throughout your life. With this passive income, with a deep independent source of revenue, you have more time for your family, you have more time for your personal life, you can travel, you can do whatever else you want to do. When you first start off, you'll make a few hundred, and as you start to grow, your business will turn into thousands, and then possibly many thousands of dollars of passive income. With iLearningGlobal and a little work, you can achieve a high personal income and financial independence for life. Wouldn't that be great to be financially independent? Now, what is your risk factor? Well, your risk factor is you invest $29.95 to start your business, plus $79.95 per month. This gives you your own business, your own website, and unlimited earning potential. What's the downside? You could learn something valuable and important that can help you in your business and your work, and you can leave at any time. In other words, there's no commitment, there's no obligation. You only stay with iLearningGlobal as long as you feel you're benefiting. So let me wrap this up and say this. The keys to success are always the same. Decide exactly what you want, write it down, and make a plan to achieve it. Then, take action immediately and do something every day to achieve your goal. If you talk to one person every day on iLearningGlobal, you're going to be one of the most successful people in the internet business. So resolve in advance that you'll never give up until you've achieved the success that you desire. Welcome to iLearningGlobal.